Welcome to English Speak Pulse. I'm Danielle, and today we're uncovering something that can truly change your future: how to make passive income online in 2025. Imagine earning money while you sleep, travel, or spend time with the people you love. That's the power of passive income.
And I'm Sarah. The exciting part is, it's no longer a mystery. With the right methods, anyone can start building online income streams. In this conversation, we'll walk through everything from why passive income is the future to shifting your mindset, building digital assets, creating content, using affiliate marketing and e-commerce, leveraging AI and online tools, overcoming mistakes, and finally, putting it all together into a clear roadmap.
Think of it as your complete guide. Each method is designed to move you one step closer to financial freedom. And the best part is, you don't need a huge budget or advanced skills to start.
Exactly. By the end, you won't just understand what passive income is. You'll know how to apply these strategies in your own life. It's practical, it's step-by-step, and it's built for 2025.
So grab your notebook and some focus time, because we're about to explore the proven methods that can help you create income streams that work for you, long after the work is done.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today, well, it feels pretty urgent. We're digging into some source material that really forces us to look hard at how we earn a living.
It does.
And the big question is this: why has passive income stopped being, a nice to have, a luxury, and become an absolute necessity, especially now in 2025?
Yeah, it's a deep dive into self-reliance, isn't it? The hook from the sources is, well, it's stark.
How so?
The rules have just fundamentally changed. I mean, over the last decade.
Yeah.
Relying only on your salary, just trading hours for money, the sources are clear. That's now a major financial risk.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that. Because, a lot of us grew up with this idea, this kind of financial myth. Study hard, get the job, be loyal, you'll be secure.
Standard path.
But this material says that model is basically crumbling. So what
Right.
trends are the sources actually pointing to? What's undermining that active income bedrock?
It's fascinating how outdated that old roadmap feels now. We were all told, right, study hard, get a good job.
Save 10%.
Save 10% and, someday you'll retire comfortably.
Yeah.
But the research shows none of those pieces are guaranteed anymore. Not the job, not the savings power, not the comfortable retirement.
And we need specifics here, I think. It's not just a vague feeling that jobs are shaky. The sources seem to pinpoint real systemic pressures.
Oh, definitely. They call relying on just a salary a kind of ticking time bomb.
Okay, so what are the financial pressures? Lay them out for us.
All right. First, job instability. It's not just about the usual ups and downs of industries anymore. It's structural. It's technology.
You mean AI and automation?
Exactly. AI, automation. They're streamlining, even eliminating whole categories of jobs, especially mid-level ones, faster than people expected.
Okay, that's one. What else?
Second, and this one's huge, inflation. It's not just a background hum anymore. It's actively destroying the value of savings.
So that emergency fund or the retirement nest egg?
It's losing purchasing power much faster. Some sources note that in, say, Western economies, just to keep pace with core inflation, you might need to save closer to 8% real rate, not the 3 or 4% people used to aim for.
Wow. So your savings are effectively shrinking, even if the number looks okay.
They're being eaten alive, systematically, yeah.
And that's where the wage issue hits hard, right? The wage gap.
Precisely. Wages just aren't keeping up with the real costs. Housing, healthcare, education. That cushion a salary used to provide, it's getting thinner and thinner.
Which leads to the safety nets.
Which are also eroding. Look at pensions defined. Benefit pensions are practically relics in many sectors. Social safety nets, under strain everywhere.
So the security that maybe companies or the government used to offer?
It's been shifted, externalized really, onto us, the individuals. And that transition where you become solely responsible for your long-term security, that's the moment passive income stops being just a smart idea and becomes, well, essential financial infrastructure.
Okay, so those are the risks, the necessity part. The sources then pivot pretty directly to the solution. Passive income. Let's define it clearly. How is it different from just, getting a second job?
That's a crucial distinction. Passive income isn't about working more hours directly for money. It's about creating income streams that flow independently of your daily effort.
So work up front.
Exactly. Significant work up front. Building something, a digital asset, a financial system, a product, content that then generates revenue over time without you actively trading hours for that specific income anymore. You're separating your labor from your earnings flow.
Okay, sounds good. But let me play devil's advocate a bit, which I assume the sources address. What if I spend 6 months building an online course, pour my heart into it, and crickets, it flops? Haven't I just wasted half a year? Isn't that risky?
That's a fair question, and yes, the sources absolutely acknowledge risk in the creation phase. Building an asset that fails, that's a real risk. You lose that initial time investment, but the risk we're actually mitigating here is the catastrophic risk of single-source income failure.
Ah, okay. Explain that.
If you rely only on your job and you lose it, your active income drops to zero instantly. But if you have, say, 3 passive streams and one fails, the other 2 keep producing. And maybe your active income is still there too. It's diversification.
So it's like a portfolio approach to how you earn money, not just how you invest savings.
Exactly that. It's managing income risk. And the sources frame its role in 2 ways: security and freedom.
The safety net and the booster.
Right. When your main income takes a hit, passive income is the safety net, keeps you afloat. But when your main income is strong, it acts as a booster.
How so?
It accelerates wealth building, obviously. But maybe more importantly, it buys back your time, your most valuable non-renewable asset. That's the freedom part.
There's a really good example in the material about this, right? The teacher.
Yes, the primary school teacher story. It's a great illustration. She loved teaching, but the hours were just too much, killing her family time.
So instead of quitting,
she looked for a pain point she could solve passively. She noticed parents often struggled helping with homework, simple stuff. So she spent her initial effort creating, I think it was 6, short, downloadable guides for parents, like mini manuals for specific subjects, a minimal digital asset.
Okay, but lots of people write guides. What made hers work, according to the sources? Was there a trick?
The leverage was in how she did it. She didn't try to become a tech expert. The sources mentioned she used a cheap outsourced template service for the layout and setup.
Ah, smart. Minimize the technical headache.
Right. Cut her setup time massively, like 70%. So that small set of guides started bringing in money. Not a fortune initially, but it was predictable, independent of her teaching hours.
And that allowed her to
cut back her teaching to part-time. She got the family time she wanted without a huge financial hit. It gave her control.
That really drives it home. It wasn't about getting rich quick. It was about resilience and choice.
It's the mechanism, separating labor from income, building security regardless of her main job status.
Okay, let's shift gears. We've got the why the economic pressure is making this necessary. But the sources are really insistent that now 2025 is an optimal time. What makes this specific moment so unique for passive income?
This is where technology meets macroeconomics in a really interesting way. See, in the past, creating anything at scale needed serious capital, big investment.
Buildings, staff, distribution.
Right. Now, an individual can access tools that used to be reserved for massive corporations. That's the game changer.
So factor 1 for 2025.
Factor 1, technology and scaling. Think about how easy it is now to automate things. No-code platforms, cheap and effective AI tools.
Like generative AI for content or images?
Exactly. One person can create a really polished digital product, manage a huge email list, distribute something globally, and the marginal cost for each extra customer is practically zero.
That really is different. No warehouses, no shipping logistics for digital stuff, just server costs, maybe software fees.
Precisely. The barrier to creating a basic digital asset, a minimum viable one, it's lower than ever, which massively boosts the potential return on that initial time investment.
Right.
That's why 2025 feels like a pivot point.
Okay, makes sense. Factor 2. Economic unpredictability. We know things are volatile, but how does that specifically boost the case for passive income right now?
Well, we're not necessarily in like a massive global crash at this second, but we are definitely in a period of high volatility. Markets jump around like crazy.
Yeah.
Unexpected events pop up constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So if your entire financial life depends on one company in one city in one country, you're exposed. A merger, a local downturn, a sudden policy shift, boom, you're vulnerable.
Right. So passive income, especially online passive income, diversifies your economic geography. Is that the idea?
That's a great way to put it. If you're selling stock photos or a small software tool or online courses globally, you're earning from multiple economies, maybe multiple currencies. You're spreading risk across different regulatory zones. That diversification builds resilience. Huge resilience in today's world.
Okay. Technology access, economic diversification. Factor 3. Lifestyle freedom. This feels more cultural.
It is, but it's a powerful driver. The sources confirm this trend. People are consciously saying, I value my time more than just buying more stuff.
Yeah.
Burnout is real.
Definitely feeling that.
Passive income is the financial engine that lets you act on that priority.
Yeah.
It literally buys back your hours. It swaps time for money work with asset for money income. That's what enables the travel, the learning, the family time.
Let me make that really concrete for everyone listening. Think about the lower end, the booster effect. What would just say $500 extra a month coming in passively do for your life? That might not sound life-changing, but maybe it covers your utilities or a big chunk of your car payment or lets you take a weekend trip without guilt. It's not just cash, it's breathing room, it's options.
That's exactly the power of even a small, reliable, passive stream. It creates flexibility.
But, and this is the big but, getting there isn't magic. Which brings us to section 4, the mindset shift and that crucial upfront effort. Because if it were easy,
Everyone would be doing it right. And this is where we need to be really honest and ditch the get-rich-quick fantasy.
So what's the core mindset shift?
It's foundational.
Yeah.
You have to stop seeing money only as something you earn by trading your time. You have to start seeing it as something you build
Build. How?
through systems, through assets, through automation. You're shifting from being just a worker to being an architect of your own income streams.
The sources use an analogy here, right? The tree.
Yeah, the planting a tree analogy is perfect. You don't just find a fruit tree in your yard one day.
Right?
You have to put in serious effort first. You find the right spot, dig the hole, plant the seed or sapling, water it, protect it, nurture it. That initial work, building the course, writing the book, setting up the system, it's significant. It takes time and energy.
But once it's established.
Once the tree is strong, it produces fruit, season after season. You don't have to replant it every single year. You might prune it, sure, maintain it, but the core structure is built.
So the work changes. It shifts from constant labor to system building and then periodic maintenance.
Exactly. It's working smarter over the long haul, not necessarily less hard initially. And the sources give a pretty sobering statistic here.
Oh.
The median time to get your first significant passive income, meaning predictable, recurring money, not just a one-off sale, is around 8 months.
8 months. That requires patience.
It requires stamina. Treating it like a serious project, maybe like a mini startup, not just a weekend hobby you might drop after a month.
That timeline really highlights why people might fail then. They quit too early.
Very often. They judge the potential based on the initial heavy lifting phase before the system has had time to mature and, bear fruit.
I can actually relate to that personally. When I decided to create those online courses on communication skills,
Wow.
the recording, the editing, just getting it done felt like climbing a mountain.
A lot of upfront work.
Hours and hours. Honestly, once they were launched, I kind of just put them out of my mind for a bit. Felt exhausted by it.
And what happened over time?
Well, months later, I started noticing. People were still finding them, buying them, every single week, sending me questions or comments. That initial intense effort, that pain period, it had turned into leveraged time. 1 hour I spent recording something months ago was now generating sales again and again for like the next 2 years. It proved to me that the heavy lifting can pay off, but exponentially.
That's a perfect example and shows the goal isn't necessarily thousands overnight. The goal is building a robust system. Nurture it, improve it, and that tiny stream can absolutely grow into a river over time.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. If we pull everything from this deep dive together for a final takeaway, we're basically at an inflection point.
We are.
The way the economy works, the tools we have access to in 2025, it means the old way of earning, just the salary, it's just not enough for real security anymore.
Passive income isn't just a nice idea, it's the necessary evolution. It's that critical way to decouple your income from your daily hours. That gives you security in this volatile world, and it unlocks the lifestyle freedom people are increasingly demanding.
And the accessibility is there now, thanks to technology.
Higher than ever. The need is driven by the economy, the opportunity is driven by tech.
It boils down to that shift the sources mention. Stop just working for money. Start making money work for you through the things you build.
It definitely takes a plan. It takes persistence, consistency. But the door really is open now for anyone willing to put in that initial work.
Right. So on that note, here's something for you, the listener, to think about as we close out this deep dive. If 2025 really is this unique moment with the tools and the demand lining up, what specific skill or piece of knowledge that you already have, what could you start planting today? Not next month, not next year. What seed could you plant now to work towards your harvest tomorrow?
Think about your unique assets.
Exactly. Not just your time, but your knowledge, your experience. That's where building your future really starts.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. So you gave us a really interesting stack of sources this time, all centered on, well, what feels like maybe the biggest financial shift happening right now. Moving away from that traditional, active work towards truly automated income systems.
Yeah.
And what these sources keep hitting on again and again is that the key isn't the tech. It's mental. It's this thing they're calling the builder mindset.
That's absolutely right. And our mission today really is to get past just the buzzword of passive income.
Yeah.
We need to unpack why that phrase still makes people feel skeptical, almost like it's too good to be true.
Yeah, a bit scammy sometimes.
Exactly. And we need to identify those, deep, often invisible mental traps, the things that stop really smart, motivated people from actually building systems that work for them.
Okay, let's dig into that straight away. Because everyone says they want automated income, right?
Yeah.
But very, very few actually pursue it consistently.
Right.
And I think that resistance, it boils down to this fundamental conflict we all have inside, this really deep-rooted belief from society that money only comes from hard physical work, or at least time-bound labor.
Precisely. We're conditioned, from childhood by school, parents, our first jobs.
Yeah.
That income has to be tied directly to effort right now. Like no clocking in, no paycheck.
Simple as that.
And that conditioning is so strong that when this idea of like asynchronous or automated income comes along, our brain just flags it.
Instinctively.
Yeah, flags it as suspicious, maybe even like morally wrong somehow. We genuinely have to rewire how we see the connection between our time and the value we create.
Which brings us right to the main trap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The one most people are stuck in. The linear time for money cycle. Can you define that problem for us? Because it's more than just working hours.
Yeah, the problem is fundamentally it's linear. When you sell your time, you get paid for that specific hour or that specific task.
Yeah.
It's an immediate trade. But the huge flaw is that your income is totally capped by the hours you have available.
Finite resource.
Totally finite. And the second you step off that treadmill, maybe you're sick, take a vacation, or eventually retire, boom. The income just stops. Dead stop.
It's predictable, I guess, which is maybe why people like it. But its maximum output is fixed.
That's a fair point. Predictability is a comfort.
But I want to push back a bit here. Doesn't embracing this builder mindset, starting something new, doesn't that bring in massive unpredictability and risk? Things the traditional earner avoids.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely introduces unpredictability, especially in the short term.
Okay.
But that's exactly why the mindset shift is so crucial. If we frame that old time for money cycle as like renting your life out by the hour.
Interesting way to put it.
It really highlights the limitation, doesn't it? You can only rent out so many hours in a day in a life.
Right.
What's so powerful about the builder approach, the sources argue, is it shifts you from linear income to leveraged income.
And that leveraged thinking, that seems to be the core difference the sources point to between the earner and the builder.
Exactly. The earner asks, okay, how much money can I make this month if I work these specific hours?
Standard question.
Standard question. But the builder asks something totally different. They ask, how can I use my time today to build some kind of digital asset or a system that could pay me tomorrow, next month, maybe even years from now? Crucially, without needing me to put in the same effort over and over again.
But they're focused on building infrastructure, not just fulfilling the next transaction.
That's it. Building infrastructure.
Okay, so this is the real turning point then. Shifting from being an earner laser-focused on the next paycheck to being a builder. Someone focused on creating scalable systems, investments, platforms that work for them. The goal is to stop thinking only in terms of that immediate hour-for-dollar trade.
And we really have to acknowledge the timing here, doing this deep dive in, 2025. Technology has just dramatically lowered the barrier to entry for building things.
Huge difference compared to even, say, 10 years ago.
Massive. We're not just talking about launching some big VC-backed startup anymore. The availability of things like no-code platforms, AI for helping create content, establish ways to distribute things online, means creating assets is genuinely accessible to almost anyone now.
Which makes building something feasible as, like, a side activity. That seems key. You don't necessarily have to quit your day job to start building an asset.
That is a crucial takeaway. Building is accessible because the tools cut down on that initial heavy lifting, the required labor.
Okay, so to really illustrate this mindset shift, which is basically about turning your spare time into potential future income, I want to bring up that anecdote from the source about the friend in the corporate job.
Oh yeah, the 60-hour-a-week guy.
Right. Earning well, but totally burned out.
Yeah.
And he decides to use just, 2 hours every Saturday
Yeah, just a small chunk of time.
to build a really simple YouTube channel, reviewing niche business books.
So essentially, he was taking a small, fixed percentage of his available time, maybe like 10% of his weekly effort, kind of like successful builders in the sources often mention,
Right.
and dedicated it purely to building an asset, not to earning immediate income.
And here's the kicker. He earned absolutely zero revenue for the first 6 months.
Zero.
And this is the point where like 99% of people would probably quit because they're stuck in that earner mindset, right? They expect an immediate return on the time they put in.
But he didn't quit. He kept going.
Yeah.
And his videos, they became this catalog, this library of valuable content. Google and YouTube started indexing it. And then maybe a year later,
Yeah.
those same videos started generating consistent ad revenue, some affiliate commissions, enough to pay his rent.
While he was sleeping or at his actual corporate job.
Exactly. It's the same person using the same total hours available in a week, but with a fundamentally different leveraged mindset about how he allocated just a small part of that time.
That story really shows that building doesn't have to replace earning right away. It should maybe initially just support it and then eventually perhaps overtake it.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest hurdle he cleared was getting past that need for instant results.
Absolutely critical.
Passive income isn't instant. It's the delayed result of putting in significant effort up front, like planting seeds, as you said.
Yeah, planting seeds. So if patience is the fuel needed for this builder mindset, let's talk about the engine.
Okay.
Once you kind of accept this idea of delayed, leveraged returns, then we can get into the practical steps, the structure you need to actually shift from earner to builder.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks, actionable structure. What's step one?
Step one, you have to systematically start reducing your reliance on trading time for money as your only strategy.
Okay, reducing reliance. How?
It means consciously taking a small slice of your week time you might currently spend on, say, just consumption or more linear work, and reallocating it specifically towards creating an asset.
This feels like the really radical mental shift. We have to question that old ingrained rule, don't we? Work 40 years, retire at 65, then you get to enjoy life.
Exactly. That whole model.
The new builder rule seems to be build systems now, create leverage now, and actually increase your freedom while you're still young enough to really enjoy it. It's like rejecting the default scarcity model of time.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, so step two. Start seeing your skills, your knowledge, your creativity, not just as services you sell one time,
Right.
but as actual assets, things that can be documented, standardized, and multiplied. It's about capturing your intellectual property, your IP.
And this is where all the modern tech opportunities really come into play, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like if you know a lot about, say, financial modeling,
Yeah,
you don't just sell your hours doing it for clients.
right.
You could turn that knowledge into a repeatable digital asset. Build a really well-documented system, maybe a set of templates on Notion or Airtable, and sell that system over and over.
Exactly. You're monetizing the system behind your expertise, not just the time you spend executing it for one person.
So we're talking about creating things like, digital courses, ebooks, maybe reusable code snippets.
Yeah, or even a tiny micro-sauce product solving one specific little problem for a niche audience.
Got it.
These are all just packaged versions of your expertise that can be sold while you sleep, but it requires you to stop only looking for the next client meeting and start seeing the opportunity in systematizing everything you know how to do.
Okay, makes sense. And the final step, step 3.
Step 3, systematically embrace delayed gratification. And related to that, the principles of the minimum viable product, or MVP.
Ah, the MVP. So not trying to make it perfect up front.
Exactly. Patience and persistence are obviously key, but more specifically, you have to accept that your first try at building an asset, it'll probably be, well, kind of terrible.
Okay, good to know.
And it likely won't make much money right away, if any. The sources suggest most people massively overestimate what their asset can earn in the first 6 months.
Right.
but they wildly underestimate its potential after, say, 3 years of consistent work and refinement.
That's the timeline trap again. Passive income is a marathon. It's about strategic iteration. So you need to launch your asset quickly, the MVP version, and then use those first few months, not necessarily to earn big bucks, but to gather real market data, get feedback, see what works.
And, to connect this back to my own experience building that little blog system I mentioned,
Yeah.
when I first started writing articles, honestly, it felt ridiculous. No one was reading them.
Must have been tough to keep going.
It was. And initially, I was obsessed with the immediate traffic numbers. But the real shift happened when I changed my focus. I stopped worrying so much about daily page views and started focusing on systematic improvements.
Like what?
Like optimizing the old articles for SEO, putting in a better way to capture emails, testing different headlines, different platforms, little tweaks.
So you were applying the builder mindset to the structure itself. The goal wasn't just write more. It became refine the machine.
Exactly. Refine the machine. And after about a year of that consistent methodical refinement, not some sudden stroke of genius, just steady work, the traffic did pick up.
Right.
I signed up for Google AdSense, found some regular affiliate programs, and suddenly that tiny iterated system, it was covering small bills, basic overhead.
Yeah.
The key was accepting that the initial investment of time was really for learning and collecting data, not for immediate profit.
Okay, now let's tackle maybe the biggest psychological hurdle we hear about with this stuff, the fear of failure.
Ah, yes, a big one.
Skeptics, quite rightly, point out that most of these digital side projects, they don't make significant money. They fail. So how do the sources square that promise of freedom with the very real risk of wasting a lot of upfront time?
And that skepticism is completely warranted. It's true, many first attempts don't hit it big financially.
Right.
But here's the critical reframe for the builder. There isn't really true failure, only data acquisition.
Okay, explain that.
Even if the asset itself, your first online course, your first little software tool, doesn't make a single dime, the builder gains incredibly valuable, transferable skills. Skills that pay off in the very next project attempt.
So this isn't just like feel-good philosophy. We're talking actual marketable skills you learn.
Yes, absolutely. You learn how to actually validate a market need, how to develop a product, even a small one, how to use the platforms, how to build and refine a sales funnel.
Got it.
Think about it. An earner might lose their job and feel like they're back at square one, but a builder whose first project fails, they've basically just paid the tuition for their next much smarter project. The skills they picked up knowing which niche not to target next time or which marketing channel was a waste of money, that knowledge is immediately leveraged into building the next asset better, faster, smarter.
I really like that analogy. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the tuition fee you pay for learning how to build.
Exactly.
And once you've paid that fee, your next attempt is almost guaranteed to be stronger because now you have real data, not just hopeful guesses.
Ultimately, the goal isn't just about piling up money, though that can be an outcome. It's really about securing control.
Control over what?
Control over your time, your choices, your future direction. And you achieve that control by shifting from just working inside systems that other people designed to actively building robust systems that work for you.
Beautifully put. Okay, so our core takeaway for you listening today really seems to be this. The goal is consistent effort, but applied to leveraged outcomes. Stop asking, how fast can I make money? And start asking, how can I build something valuable that keeps growing, keeps generating value over time?
Right.
And once that mindset shifts from earner to builder, then the focus naturally moves to identifying and creating those assets.
Yeah, the assets are the vehicles. They're the engines that actually drive that automated or passive income.
They're the captured IP, the documented systems, the digital platforms.
The things that keep providing value long after you did the initial work.
Okay. So, since technology really has leveled the playing field now, making it genuinely possible for almost anyone to start building something right now, here's our final thought for you to explore.
Okay.
Consider this. Which one of your existing skills, maybe one you currently take completely for granted because it just feels easy to keep at, you could be the starting point, the seed for your very first documented, maybe tiny asset system.
Yeah. What's that one thing?
Think about that little piece of expertise you have. Could you standardize it? Could you sell it as, I don't know, a $5 template, a $50 guide? Start really small, maybe. But start building that leveraged future, even in a tiny way, today.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So for months now, we spent a lot of time talking about the mindset behind building wealth, right? Financial freedom.
Yeah, the psychology of it all.
Exactly. But today, we're shifting gears. We stop talking philosophy and we get tactical.
Okay.
We are diving deep into the actual structures, the digital structures that make passive income a reality.
Right. Moving beyond just wanting it to actually building it.
Yes. We're asking, what is that fundamental thing, that asset you need to build if you're basically starting from scratch?
And the answer really is the digital asset. It sounds simple, maybe, but it's power, especially now in 2025. It's huge. We're talking about online properties.
Online properties.
Yeah, things you create, once, maybe with significant effort up front, but then they keep generating revenue without you having to constantly be actively working on them hour by hour.
I really like the real estate comparison you mentioned earlier. It makes it instantly click, doesn't it?
It does.
We think wealth generation. Often we jump to physical property. You buy a flat, rent it out, collect rent. That's an asset working for you.
And a digital asset works just like that, fundamentally. But, and this is key, with way less friction and much, much lower startup costs.
Okay, so less capital needed upfront.
Way less. You invest your time, maybe some specific expertise to build, say, an online course or a really niche blog, or maybe even a little software tool.
Right.
And that virtual property, it starts collecting revenue, maybe slowly at first, but potentially 24/7 from anywhere in the world. You don't need a huge bank loan. You need time, skills, persistence.
So that's our mission today then. Let's unpack this. We're going to identify the types of digital assets that are really working now, give you some solid examples from the research, and explain why these online properties are, well, kind of the main engine for building wealth today.
And that today part is important. Why now? The huge advantage is they're borderless.
Right. Unlike that rental property.
Exactly. Your apartment's income, tied to the local economy, local job market, local renters. But if you create something valuable online, let's say a great set of design templates or a super specific technical guide, well, a customer in New York, another one in Dubai, student over in Tokyo, they all buy it on the same day.
Yeah.
Your market just went from your town to the entire planet instantly.
That global reach, coupled with, I guess, all the automation tools we have now, that's the game changer.
Totally.
Okay, so let's get really specific. What are these assets? It's got to be more than just like an old blog gathering dust, right? We're talking specific revenue streams.
Oh, absolutely. Much more targeted. Think about a niche newsletter. Maybe it goes out to, say, chemical engineers, and it sells really high-ticket ad placements to companies trying to reach those engineers.
Okay, that's specific. That's an asset.
Definitely. Or a micro SaaS application. A tiny focused tool online, maybe a specialized calculator for architects, or a template generator for social media posts that solves just one very specific problem. That can be an incredibly powerful digital asset.
And then you have the e-commerce stuff, which people hear a lot about, drop shipping, print on demand.
Right. With drop shipping, you're basically the storefront. You sell products, but a third party handles all the inventory and shipping.
Zero inventory for you.
Exactly. And print on demand, similar idea. You create designs for t-shirts or mugs, whatever. They only get printed and shipped after someone orders one. Again, no inventory risk, highly automated logistics. Both are leveraged assets.
So the core idea, the big takeaway here, is that if you want sustainable passive income, it has to come from assets you control.
Precisely. And these digital properties, they're just the most efficient way right now to turn that upfront work, your time, your knowledge, into cash flow that keeps coming in long after the initial work is done.
Okay, this is where it starts to feel real, especially looking at some of the anecdotes in the source material. I was really struck by that story of the photographer friend.
The stock photo example, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be like a famous artist or anything. He just genuinely loved taking really good landscape photos. So he started uploading them to stock photo sites, like Shutterstock.
Just putting his work out there.
Right. And that initial effort, uploading maybe 50, then 100 photos, that built his asset library. And at first, pennies. Literally maybe $5 a month.
Yeah, it starts small.
But as that portfolio grew, maybe to 500 high-quality photos, the income didn't just creep up, it started compounding. Now, years later, he gets a steady check every single month, residual income from photos he took 3-4 years ago. That asset works completely on its own now.
And it's not just visual stuff, right? That baker example is also great.
Oh, the recipe blog. Yeah, tell us about that.
So she starts this blog, really niche, focusing on specialty baking. Detailed recipes, amazing photos walking you through every step. Took her about a year, maybe a bit more, building an audience, getting thousands of visitors.
Okay, so she built the traffic first.
Built the traffic, built the trust. Then, monetization. Two main ways. First, ads. Just standard display ads on the site, earning per view.
Right.
Second, affiliate links. When she recommended specific, maybe high-end baking tools, a stand mixer, certain pans, she used special links. People clicked, bought the tool.
And she got a cut.
Exactly. She leveraged the audience trust. That blog, the asset itself, became her main income. Every new recipe post wasn't just content. It was like maintenance, enhancing the core asset's value.
That makes perfect sense. And it leads us nicely into putting some structure around this. We've seen examples. Now let's categorize them. For you listening, if you're thinking, okay, what should I build? We've kind of broken down the options into 4 main types.
Okay, yeah, 4 structural categories. Let's start with number 1, content assets.
Content assets.
These are really foundational. They're all about capturing an audience over time and benefiting from long-term compounding. We're talking blogs, niche newsletters, YouTube channels, podcasts, basically platforms where you consistently publish valuable content.
And the main trade-off here is usually time, right? These are often the easiest to start with, like 0 money down.
True.
But they generally take the longest to actually make decent money because you're waiting for that audience to build, for SEO to kick in, for things to compound.
Exactly. It's a slow burn initially, but the upside is longevity. A YouTube video you made back in, say, 2020. It can still be getting views, still earning ad revenue today. It's like an evergreen income stream from work you did years ago.
Okay, so content assets are about time and compounding. What's category 2?
Category 2, product assets. Now, if content is about compounding time, product assets are more about leverage.
Leverage.
Yeah. These are things you create once and sell repeatedly. Think ebooks, detailed online courses, maybe specialized design templates, or even small digital tools or calculators.
So the baker's affiliate links pointed to tools, but if she'd made her own downloadable guide to sourdough, that would be a product asset.
Precisely. The key difference is the scale potential. You might spend, 80 hours creating a really good online course, huge effort up front.
Right.
But once it's done, that same course can be sold 1,000 times, maybe 10,000 times, with very little extra labor per sale. The effort to reward ratio gets really attractive once the product is finished and you figure out how to market it.
Makes sense. Okay, category 3.
Category 3 we're calling business assets. Now these tend to need more structure up front, maybe systems, processes, sometimes even a small team. But they generally offer the highest potential for scaling income.
Okay, so more complex. Examples.
Full online stores, maybe using that dropshipping model we talked about, software as a service SaaS products, which are basically subscription software, or things like membership communities where people pay a recurring fee, maybe monthly, for access.
Right. Now, hold on. Let's maybe pump the brakes on the low barrier to entry for a second here. Building a SaaS product sounds hard.
It is.
You need coding skills or you need money to hire developers, right?
Right.
What did the source material say about that trade-off? It sounds like business assets need actual capital or serious tech skills, not just time like a blog.
That's the crucial distinction, yes. Business assets typically require either significant capital investment or highly specialized technical skills, or sometimes both. They're not usually something you can just whip up in a weekend.
Okay.
But the payoff, if you get it right, is that potential for really consistent, scalable income once the system is running smoothly. Imagine a membership site for, freelance writers. Once it's built and has maybe a few hundred members paying $49 a month.
That $49 just arrives automatically, recurring revenue.
Exactly. The asset there is the community platform, the content library, the whole structure you've built.
Got it. And the last one, category 4.
Category 4, investment assets. These often need capital upfront, sometimes significant capital, but they're typically managed digitally and deliver passive returns with minimal time involvement from you.
So less time, more money needed.
Generally, yes. Examples would be things like dividend-paying stocks you manage through an online broker, or investing in real estate through crowdfunding platforms where you digitally buy a small piece of a physical property.
Interesting.
Or even buying into existing intellectual property, like buying a share of the royalties from a musician's song catalog or an author's book sales.
So you're leveraging assets someone else already created.
Exactly. You're using capital to buy into an existing income stream rather than building one entirely from scratch with your time. It maximizes capital input, minimizes time input.
Okay, that's a really helpful map of the landscape. 4 categories: content, product, business, investment. But Let's talk about actually doing this because, this is where the dream of passive income often hits the wall of, wow, this is actual work up front.
Yeah, the execution mindset, it's critical.
Yeah.
And the first rule, you absolutely cannot try to build everything at once. Don't try a blog and a course and a SaaS tool simultaneously.
Right. I love the gardener analogy from the sources. Don't try to plant a whole commercial orchard on day one, right?
Exactly. Start with
Yeah.
one tree, pick one asset type of maybe it's a niche blog, maybe it's one digital template, maybe one specialized online course. Focus,
Water that one tree.
water it, nurture it, give it the time and attention it needs to get stable and start, bearing some fruit, generating some income, however small at first.
And only then.
Then you think about planting the second tree. Over time, you build that orchard, a portfolio of different digital assets that together feed you consistently.
And let's clarify the effort needed once it's built, because passive doesn't mean zero work forever, does it?
No, absolutely not. That's a common misconception. Once built, the asset doesn't need your constant 9-to-5 focus, but it does need care. Occasional updates, maintenance, maybe responding to changes in the market or technology.
So it's not active labor, it's more like strategic upkeep.
That's a great way to put it. Strategic optimization. Checking analytics, tweaking things, maybe updating content. The key is the effort to reward ratio shifts dramatically. It's way better than trading hours directly for dollars in a traditional job.
Okay, but we need a reality check here too. Because let's be honest, not every attempt works out, especially at first.
Definitely not.
People start blogs that nobody reads. They launch courses that get zero sales initially. Videos flop. This is usually where people give up, isn't it?
It is, and that persistence factor. It's probably the single most crucial variable for success.
The research we looked at suggests most people who start, say, a blog or a YouTube channel, they abandon it within the first 6 months.
6 months, right before it might actually start taking off.
Often, yeah. Right before the content starts ranking or the audience growth hits that inflection point.
Yeah.
You really have to view the first, say, 12 months as purely investment. You're building the infrastructure. You shouldn't even really be expecting significant profit in that phase. That's a hard pill to swallow for some people.
It is, but it's realistic.
And another thing, we need to challenge this idea that you need to be some huge influencer or internet celebrity to make this work. I think a lot of listeners hear a digital asset and think, well, I don't have 1 million followers, so this isn't for me.
Yeah, that's just not true based on the data.
It's not.
Not at all. The metrics we found show success is much more about niche focus than sheer volume. You don't need fame. You need concentrated value for a specific group.
Okay, give me an example.
All right. A blog that gets just 10,000 highly targeted monthly readers. Let's say they're all project managers in the tech industry. That seemingly small audience, it can potentially generate a solid income, maybe $3,000 to $5,000 a month.
Wait, only 10,000 readers? How does that generate $5,000? That seems really high per reader.
Because the monetization isn't based on cheap banner ads clicked by random people. It's different. It's about high-value strategies. Maybe they sell a premium $500 online course specifically for tech project managers. Or they get sponsorships from software companies that sell project management tools. Those sponsors pay a lot to reach that specific audience. Or they use affiliate links for expensive industry software, earning big commissions.
So it's not the volume of people, it's the value of each person in that niche audience.
Exactly. Value density, not just raw traffic volume. Same for YouTube. A channel with maybe only 20,000 very engaged subscribers in a profitable niche. They can command significant fees for a single, well-placed sponsorship mention, enough to potentially be a full-time income.
Right. Value density. I like that. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big message for everyone listening?
I think the core takeaway is this. Digital assets are basically your online property. They're the modern way to own the means of production, in a sense.
You build them once, a blog, a course, a tool, whatever fits you and structured correctly, they can genuinely work for you. Generating income separate from your time, independent of your location, potentially for years to come.
Yeah. They are the foundation. And now that we've hopefully made that foundation clear what an asset is, the 4 main types, well, the next real challenge begins, doesn't it?
Which is?
The optimization. So here's something for you to think about. Once you've picked your asset type, once you've started building it, how do you choose and implement the best monetization models for that specific asset? How do you make sure it generates income that's reliable, steady, and truly scalable over the long term? Because that next layer, that monetization strategy, is often what separates a fun side project from something that actually delivers financial freedom. welcome to the Deep Dive. So if you're looking into passive income, maybe trying to build some long-term wealth, you probably realized the game's really shifted.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not really talking about, flipping houses anymore or day trading. It's more about creating these digital assets.
Yeah.
Stuff that keeps working for you long after you've, clicked publish.
Exactly right. And content creation, that's the real engine here. It's driving this whole thing. It doesn't matter if it's a 30-second TikTok or maybe a really detailed YouTube tutorial or even a focused newsletter. Content is how you grab attention. And attention, well, that's basically the currency online now.
Right. And the beauty of it is the leverage, isn't it? You create something valuable once, put the work in up front, but if you get the monetization right, it just keeps earning, potentially indefinitely.
It becomes a machine, an income generation machine.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, so our mission really for this deep dive is to walk through the 5 key monetization models. And these aren't just theories, right? These are proven methods that successful creators are actually using, like right now in 2025.
These are the tools, basically, how you turn that attention into actual income.
Exactly.
And just to lay them out, we're talking ad revenue, affiliate marketing, sponsorships and brand deals, then digital products, and finally memberships or these exclusive communities.
Right, and we should think of them as interconnected streams, not just separate boxes.
Good point. Okay, so where do we start? Maybe the most familiar one.
Let's start with the one most people know, but honestly, it can be the toughest for beginners. Ad revenue. We sometimes call this the scale game.
Right. This is your classic YouTube model, Facebook videos, podcasts too. You put content out there for free, people watch or listen, ads get shown.
And the platform shares some of that ad money back with you, the creator. Simple concept.
Simple concept, yeah. But getting there isn't always easy.
No, the barrier to entry is definitely high. Like the sources point out, ad revenue needs volume, big numbers. Think about YouTube's partner program. That threshold, it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours.
Which takes time and a lot of consistency.
It really does. Patience is key.
But okay, let's say you hit those numbers. The passive side kicks in then, right?
Oh yeah, the passive benefit is undeniable once you're in. Think about that cooking channel example. Maybe they posted a great recipe 2 years ago.
Okay.
People are still searching for it today, right? They're still watching that video. And that creator, they're still getting a check each month from the ads on that old video.
That's the dream, isn't it? True evergreen income.
It is. But, it goes a bit deeper than just views. Success here is also about optimization.
Optimization. How so?
You need to understand things like CPM, cost per mil. Basically, how much advertisers pay for 1,000 views of their ad on your content.
Right. And that varies.
Hugely. It's actually surprising. Like a tech reviewer focusing on the US market, they might get, say, $20, maybe $30 CPM. Wow. Okay. But a gaming channel with a global audience, their CPM might only be $3 to $5. Big difference.
So the lesson isn't just get views, it's get the right kind of views, attract a high-value audience.
Exactly. And you mentioned optimization, too. Creators need to think about how ads are shown.
You mean like where they put the ads in the video?
Precisely. Ad density. Using mid-roll ads, those ads in the middle of longer videos strategically, that can seriously boost revenue, much more than just having ads at the start and end.
Okay, so that's a technical thing you can control.
Yeah, it turns good content into better monetized content. So if you like being consistent, maybe you enjoy making longer videos, tutorials, vlogs, ad revenue is powerful, but it's volatile.
Volatile is definitely the word. You hear stories, right? Platform changes its algorithm.
And bam, your main income stream can just, shrink overnight.
Which is exactly why the smart creators don't rely on just one thing. They layer.
Exactly. They move from just chasing volume to building connection, which brings us nicely to affiliate marketing.
Okay, so ad revenue is the scale game.
Affiliate marketing is more the trust game. And crucially, it can often generate income much faster than waiting to hit those ad thresholds.
Right. I get this one. You recommend a product, maybe a service you actually use.
Yeah, something you genuinely back.
And you put a special tracking link in your description or your blog post, whatever. Someone clicks it, they buy the thing.
And you get a commission. Simple as that.
And the range of things you can promote is, huge.
Oh, it's immense. You've got massive programs like Amazon Associates for, physical products. But then there are these big networks like ClickBank. They focus a lot on digital products. Plus software companies, online courses, tons of options.
And the commissions can be really different, can't they? That seems important.
Hugely important. Like you said, if you recommend, say, a $20 yoga mat on Amazon, your commission might be tiny. Maybe 3%, 5%. But if you recommend like a high-ticket software subscription, maybe a project management tool that costs $50 a month, the commission could easily be 30%, sometimes even 50%. And if it's a subscription, you might get that commission every month they stay subscribed.
Now that's a different ballgame. Recurring revenue.
Precisely. And that's the key takeaway for anyone listening. Think about promoting high-value digital products or recurring subscriptions if you can. You don't need millions of views for that to be worthwhile. You just need a focused audience that actually trusts what you say.
Okay, but let's push on that trust idea a bit. Isn't that the big risk here? Authenticity.
Absolutely. That's the tightrope you walk.
Like if I just start recommending anything and everything that offers a huge commission, even if the product's kind of junk,
you'll destroy that trust instantly.
And then nobody clicks your links anyway.
Exactly. The whole model falls apart. The sources really emphasize this. The best affiliate marketers protect their authenticity fiercely. It's why micro-influencers can be so effective. Their audience genuinely believes the recommendation isn't just about the money.
So it's about using your authority wisely, not selling it out.
Couldn't have said it better. You leverage your authority, you don't sacrifice it.
Okay, that makes sense. And it feels like a natural pivot then from using someone else's product, like an affiliate marketing, to sort of leveraging your own audience's value directly. Which brings us to sponsorships and brand deals, the partnership stream.
Yes. Now, instead of getting a commission after a sale, companies are paying you directly, upfront.
Why? What are they buying?
Access. They're buying access to your engaged audience. They want a few minutes of their attention and maybe a little bit of that trust you've built.
So it's more than just placing an ad. It's often about creating specific content for the brand.
Right. You see the classic examples all the time. The tech reviewer doing a whole video on a new phone they were sent.
Or the travel vlogger staying at a hotel and they mentioned it was sponsored.
Exactly. And here's where the market is getting really interesting. People used to think you needed millions of followers for sponsorships.
Yeah, you assume it's only for the huge channels.
Not anymore. There's a major shift happening. Brands are increasingly working with micro-influencers.
Define micro-influencer again.
Generally, creators with maybe 5,000 to 50,000 followers. Somewhere in that range.
Okay, but why would a brand do that? Surely they want the massive reach.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but often it comes down to engagement and customer acquisition cost.
Yeah.
A micro-influencer usually has a much more niche, tight-knit community. Those followers are often super engaged. So when that creator recommends something, the conversion rate, the percentage of people who actually click or buy can be way higher than for a mega-influencer.
Ah, I see. So the brand gets more bang for their buck, essentially.
Exactly. Paying, say, $5,000 to a niche creator who converts 5% of their audience might be much smarter, much more efficient than paying $50,000 to a huge star who only converts 0.1%.
Right. That makes total sense. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Go on.
If you keep that authenticity we talked about and you're consistent, these brand deals let you kind of bypass the platform algorithms for payment.
Right. Totally. The payment is direct. You negotiate it based on your audience, your engagement, your unique value.
And it can be very profitable.
Highly profitable. But okay, let's pivot again. We've gone from ads to recommending others' products to brands paying for access.
What's next? Selling your own stuff.
Exactly. Digital products. This is what we call the scalability stream.
Right. This feels like where that passive income idea gets really pure.
It's arguably the closest. You put in the work up front, significant work, usually to create something digital, an ebook, maybe some templates, an online course, even digital art.
And
then you can sell it again and again and again, potentially forever, without having to make it again.
the examples are everywhere once you look.
Oh, yeah. The graphic designer selling Canva templates on Etsy, the teacher selling printable worksheets, a fitness coach selling a digital meal plan PDF.
The beauty is the logistics or lack thereof.
Right. No shipping, no inventory sitting in a warehouse, no fulfillment nightmares. It's just digital delivery. Instant.
Okay, but let's challenge the passive part slightly. What if I create, say, a big online course?
Okay. High ticket item?
Yeah. And maybe I promise support in a forum or quarterly update videos. Is that really passive anymore?
That's a really important distinction. And maybe passive isn't the perfect word. Let's call it highly leveraged income.
Highly leveraged. I like that.
The sources make this clear. Yes, the initial creation is active work, sometimes intense work, But the vast majority of the profit comes later, from sales that happen while you're sleeping or working on something else. And the margins, they can be insane, like 90% plus.
Way higher than affiliate commissions usually.
Oh, leagues higher.
Huh?
And smart creators often offer tiers, maybe a cheap, totally passive ebook as an entry point, and then a more expensive, higher touch course for those who want more support.
That's clever. You cater to different needs, different price points, and you're in total control.
Complete control. Pricing, content, profit. And unlike physical products, selling 10,000 copies costs you basically the same as selling 10.
That scalability is mind-blowing compared to traditional business.
It really is. It's the ultimate asset builder, truly.
An asset you own completely.
Yes. If YouTube disappears tomorrow, or Facebook changes its rules again, you still own your ebook file. You still have your customer list.
That control, that independence, it's huge.
It's why digital products are pretty much essential for anyone serious about long-term financial freedom online.
Okay, so we have scale, trust, partnerships, scalability. What's missing? Maybe predictability.
Exactly. Which brings us to our fifth model, the one that provides perhaps the most crucial element for long-term health.
Stability.
We're talking memberships and exclusive communities.
This is how you build reliable, predictable income month after month. The idea is simple. Your most dedicated audience members pay a small recurring fee, a subscription.
And in return,
They get something extra, premium value. Could be exclusive content, maybe behind-the-scenes videos, direct access to you via private group or Q&As.
And platforms for this are booming, right? Patreon is huge. Patreon, YouTube's own channel memberships, Substack for paid newsletters, even private Discord servers or community platforms like Circle.
People seem willing to pay to support creators they like, especially if they get something special back.
They really are. And this provides that vital counterbalance to the ups and downs of ad revenue.
How so?
Well, ad rates fluctuate, right? They always dip in January after the holidays, for example. Sponsorships can be project-based, not consistent.
Yeah, feast or famine sometimes.
But those loyal supporters paying you $5 or $10 or $20 every single month, that creates a predictable financial base, a foundation.
It gives you stickiness, a buffer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It lets you weather those algorithm storms or slow months without panicking. You can keep creating.
That online teacher example you mentioned earlier fits perfectly here.
It does. They offer great lessons for free, attracting a wide audience, earning ad revenue maybe.
Right.
But their members pay, say, $5 a month for live Q&A sessions with the teacher or maybe downloadable notes.
So the free content fuels the paid membership.
Precisely. The free stuff is the lead magnet for the stable, recurring income from the community.
And think about the impact of depending only on ads.
We've seen it happen. A platform changes its algorithm and suddenly a creator's income gets cut in half overnight.
Devastating.
But if that creator also had a strong membership base, even if it was only, say, 20% of their total income, that cushion could be the difference between survival and having to stop creating.
Okay, that really paints the picture. So let's try and bring these 5 models together.
Yeah, let's recap. Content is the starting point, the gateway.
And these 5 models, they serve different but connected purposes.
Right. Ads give you volume, reach, visibility.
Affiliate links offer quicker earnings, built on trust.
Sponsorships mean high-value partnerships, direct payment.
Digital products give you that amazing scalability and high profit margins. You own the asset.
And finally, memberships provide that crucial stability, the predictable base.
So the key insight here, for you listening,
Is that the smartest, most successful creators, they don't just pick one model.
no, they layer them, they combine them.
They see content creation as building this integrated machine. Every piece of content they make potentially feeds multiple income streams.
So what does this actually mean for your strategy? How should you approach this?
It means optimizing every single asset. Think about that 15-minute video tutorial example again.
Okay, one video.
That one video could potentially earn ad revenue while people watch it.
Right.
It could have a short sponsored segment mentioning a relevant tool.
Okay, stream 2.
It could have affiliate links in the description for the gear used in the tutorial.
Stream 3.
It could end with a call to action promoting your own related digital ebook.
Stream 4.
And you could offer exclusive bonus content, maybe downloadable checklists related to the tutorial, just for your paying members on Patreon or YouTube memberships.
Wow, okay, that's 5 income streams.
Yeah.
From one single piece of content.
Exactly. That's the power of layering.
But that sounds maybe a bit overwhelming to set up all at once.
Oh, for sure. And you shouldn't feel pressured to do everything immediately. That's not the advice.
So start small.
Start with one or two. Pick the ones that feel most natural for your content type and your audience right now. Affiliate links, for instance, are often pretty easy to add to reviews or tutorials early on.
Get good at those first.
Master them, understand how they work for your audience, and then as you grow, as that trust deepens, you strategically layer in the others.
Digital products might come later. Once you really know what your audience needs, memberships might follow that.
Exactly. That's how you build a real, resilient, passive income system, step by step, layer by layer.
So just to wrap it up, content is your foundation. Your expertise, your perspective, that's the core.
And these 5 monetization models, they are the engines. They turn that foundation into actual consistent revenue.
And since the ultimate goal here is to build something that works for you even when you're not actively working.
Let's leave you with one final thought, a provocative one maybe.
But hit us with it.
Instead of thinking, okay, I need to make this content for ads and this content for affiliates and this for my members.
Yeah, separate buckets.
Ask yourself this instead. How can I take one really good piece of high-value content, like that 15-minute tutorial we keep mentioning, and right from the very beginning, from the planning stage, how can I strategically build in opportunities to earn from all 5 models simultaneously within that single piece?
Thinking about that integration up front.
That integrated multiplier effect. That's the real secret sauce. That's the difference between just earning a bit of side income and potentially building a digital empire.
Think about the efficiency of that, maximizing every single upload.
Something to chew on.
Definitely. Okay, great deep dive.
We'll catch you next time. Welcome back to The Deep Dive. We've covered the basics of content creation. Today we're digging into where our sources suggest the real scale, the real leverage is. That means integrating affiliate marketing and e-commerce.
Exactly. If you're really aiming for, true passive income, the big insight is you don't always have to do the heavy lifting yourself, like manufacturing or fulfillment.
Right.
Affiliate marketing lets you, basically outsource the product creation. And with e-commerce, these newer models mean you can often outsource inventory, shipping, everything. So you can just focus on the marketing, the brand.
That sounds really accessible, almost too accessible. I mean, doesn't a low barrier mean crazy competition? How do the sources say you actually stand out?
They do address that, yeah. The message that comes through consistently is it boils down to strategy, consistency, and probably most importantly, trust. So we've structured this deep dive to tackle exactly that. We'll start with affiliate marketing, how to shift your strategy for those high-value commissions. Then we'll pivot to e-commerce. We'll look at the models really working in 2025 and how to build a store that's actually scalable.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with affiliate marketing. It seems like maybe the quickest way in.
It often is. The basic idea is simple, right? You recommend something, someone buys via your link, you get a cut. But the data now shows that just tossing out single links isn't really cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
The real profit is shifting towards promoting whole ecosystems, not just one product.
Ecosystems, what does that mean exactly?
It means positioning yourself as the go-to resource, linking multiple related tools or services that work together. You become the expert guide, not just a salesperson for one item.
And the profitability, the commission ranges are just, they're all over the place. You see tiny ones, like 4% maybe, for physical stuff on Amazon. But then the sources point to digital products, software subscriptions, where commissions can jump to 30, 40, even 70%.
Yeah, 70% isn't unheard of.
That feels like a totally different ballgame.
It is. And that difference, that's really crucial for you to focus on. Think about a niche like, say, workflow automation. High value. If you create one piece of content, maybe a tutorial, showing how to integrate 3 different tools, a CRM, an email service, a scheduler's line, and let's say all 3 offer 30% recurring commissions.
Okay.
Well, now you're earning 3 times the revenue from that single piece of content. That's leverage.
We hear the word passive thrown around a lot, but how passive is it, really? Do the sources mention things like links breaking or products becoming outdated? That sounds like work, active work.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
A really good challenge, actually. And the sources are clear. Yes, it's passive after the upfront work. But you absolutely have to factor in some maintenance, maybe a small amount of time each week, checking links, making sure recommendations are still relevant. But if you do that, the system does work 24/7.
Yeah.
All year round. And that, fundamentally, is leverage.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you turn this idea into a reliable system? The sources seem to break it down into about 6 steps. Step 1, choose a niche, a narrow, profitable one. You can't just promote random stuff, right?
Absolutely not. You need focus. Deep focus, whether it's, I don't know, vintage camera repair or advanced Python coding. Focusing builds authority, and authority is what gets people to actually click and trust your recommendation.
Step 2 then is finding the programs themselves. Where do you look?
Right, you need context here. Amazon Associates is huge for physical goods, obviously, but for those high recurring commissions we talked about, you need specialized networks. Look at places like ClickBank. They often have high commission digital courses. Or Impact, that's big for major SaaS companies, subscription services. ShareSale is good too, maybe for mid-range retailers. You got to know where the good programs in your niche actually live.
Okay. And step 3 sounds critical. The sources really emphasize this. Product selection. The rule seems to be only promote stuff you actually believe in.
Yes. This is like the ethical core of it. One source mentioned this guy promoted some dodgy diet shape just because the commission was like 70%.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The audience saw right through it. Total backlash. His brand just tanked within a month. Trust. It's the only real currency you have in this game long term.
Makes sense. Step 4 is about the content. Creating content that actually sells. It's not just posting a link, is it?
Definitely not. It's not just shouting, buy this. One source actually highlighted that video comparison reviews, specifically in tech and B2B software, convert like 5 times better than just text reviews.
Wow, 5 times.
Yeah. Your content has to clearly show how the product solves a real painful problem for your audience. It needs to demonstrate value.
Then step 5, driving traffic. You need eyeballs on that content.
And consistency is key here. Pick 1 or 2 methods. Seriously, just 1 or 2 to start. Maybe it's deep SEO for blog posts, plus short form video for social media discovery. Whatever you choose, stick with it. Master it. Because if the traffic dries up...
The commissions die. Right.
Exactly. And finally, step 6. Track and optimize.
The business side of it.
Totally. This is what separates guessing from actually running a business. Use your analytics. See which links, which pages, which pieces of content are actually converting shoppers into buyers. Once you know what works, double down on it. Simple as that. And maybe retire the stuff that isn't pulling its weight. That constant iteration, driven by data, that's the secret sauce.
That brings us back nicely to that recurring revenue idea. The example was what? Recommending a $1,500 a month tool, 30% commission, so $15 per person per month. If you get 100 people signed up, that's $1,500 a month passively from just one recommendation. That's tangible.
It absolutely is tangible leverage. But let me push back slightly on that calculation. Getting 100 subscribers sounds great on paper. But how realistic is that? Do the sources say what percentage of affiliates actually hit numbers like that? Is that like the top 5%, or is it achievable for the average dedicated person?
That's a good question. The sources suggest it's definitely achievable for consistent creators in the right niche, but it takes patience. It's not overnight. The key seems to be momentum. Once you get those first 10 signups, finding the next 90 gets easier. Because you've proven the product works, you've refined your marketing message. It compounds.
Okay, a compounding effect. I like that. So if that recurring stream sounds appealing, imagine keeping the whole 100% of the profit, that level of control, that kind of profit margin. Well, that's why we need to talk about e-commerce now.
Right. And e-commerce in 2025, it feels completely different from even a few years ago. You don't necessarily need that huge upfront investment or a warehouse full of stuff. The sources say you can realistically build a brand, sell products basically just from a laptop, thanks to these new models.
Yeah, we've really honed in on 3 models that seem particularly scalable right now.
Okay, first up, drop shipping. We hear this one a lot. You list products, the supplier ships them. Sounds easy, low capital needed, but the sources seem pretty heavy on the warnings here. Pitfalls.
Very heavy. Yes, it's low capital to start, which is attractive. But the downsides are significant. You got high marketing risk you're paying to acquire customers before you know if the product is even good. Shipping times can be slow, which really annoys modern customers used to next-day delivery. And maybe the biggest risk, lack of quality control. If the supplier messes up, your brand takes the hit. Too many customer complaints, and your payment processor or platform could suspend your account. You have to vet suppliers like crazy.
Okay, so not quite as simple as it sounds. What's the second model?
Second is print on demand, POD. This one's really cool, especially for creative types. You design something, artwork, a slogan, whatever. The POD service only prints it onto an item, like a t-shirt or a mug, after someone places an order.
Ah, so no inventory risk.
Virtually zero inventory risk.
Yeah.
You might have some moderate upfront costs like design software or ordering samples to check quality. But once you create that design asset, it can sell over and over again. potentially infinitely.
That feels like the closest you can get to passive income with physical products, especially if you target a really passionate niche, right? Like inside jokes for a specific hobby or community.
Exactly. Hyper niche works brilliantly with POD. And then the third model. This one offers, well, pure scalability, digital stores.
Selling things like courses, templates, ebooks, maybe even apps?
Precisely. The beauty here is massive. Zero shipping costs. Zero inventory. And after you've created a product once, the cost per unit sold is essentially zero.
That's where the real scale kicks in.
Totally. And the examples are getting super specific now. The big trend for 2025 isn't just generic ebooks anymore. It's things like highly specific workflow automation templates for niche software, or complex AI prompting guides tailored to particular industries. Like a financial advisor selling a basic budgeting spreadsheet is fine. But one selling a fintech-specific AI training workflow, that's where the real money is moving. Much higher perceived value.
Okay, so we have these models. How do you actually build a store that works, that converts visitors into buyers? Looks like 5 essential steps again, focused on testing and being efficient.
Step 1, choose your platform carefully. This is pretty critical. Are you selling lots of physical items? Maybe Shopify or WooCommerce makes sense. Selling specific digital files, maybe Gumroad, or even building something custom is better. Got to match the platform to what you're selling.
Right. Step 2, niche down again. Pick the right niche.
Yes. Don't try to be Amazon. Don't sell everything. Real success comes from solving one specific, acute pain point for a very passionate group of people. If you can clearly picture your ideal customer, define them, your marketing gets like 10 times cheaper and more effective.
Okay. Step 3, store design. Make it trustworthy. Doesn't have to be flashy, right? Just trustworthy.
Exactly. Clean, simple, functional. That's the goal. Think about the checkout process. If someone has to click more than, say, 3 times to actually buy something, you are losing sales, period. Make it frictionless.
Step 4, marketing. Getting the word out effectively.
Yeah, and this links back to your niche choice. Use targeted social media ads hitting that specific audience.
Yeah.
Consider collaborating with micro-influencers who already have the trust of that community. Or focus on really high-quality content marketing that naturally positions your product as the best, maybe the only, logical solution to their problem.
And step 5, automate and scale. Get the systems working for you.
Absolutely. Use software tools for things like email follow-ups, inventory alerts. Even with drop shipping, you need alerts, order fulfillment processes.
Yeah.
Your most valuable time should be spent on developing new products or improving your marketing, not manually processing orders.
That makes sense.
And let me give you a specific target for this part. When you launch that store, aim for a 3% conversion rate within the first 90 days. That's a solid benchmark. If you're way below that, like under 1%, you probably need to radically rethink your product or your marketing message, not just tiny tweaks. That conversion rate is a pretty ruthless but honest metric for whether you're on the right track.
Okay, 3% in 90 days. That's a clear goal. So we've laid out 2 really powerful paths here, affiliate marketing and e-commerce. For someone sitting there at their laptop, maybe just starting out, how do they choose? Where do they put that first hour of effort?
Good question. It really comes down to your appetite for risk and maybe your timeline for needing income. Affiliate marketing is definitely easier to dip your toes into. Lower risk, no product development needed. It's kind of perfect if you're a beginner and need to learn the ropes of online marketing first.
Yeah.
The new downside, smaller slice of the pie, lower profit margins, and zero control over the product or the customer experience, really.
Right. Whereas e-commerce, that gives you the full control. You build your own brand, an actual asset, and potentially much higher profit margins, especially with digital products. But the drawback is, well, it's more work up front, isn't it?
Yeah.
Product creation and crucially customer service. You own the problem.
You absolutely own the problems. That's a big one. But the really smart strategy, the one you see almost every successful online entrepreneur use, they combine both. They often start with affiliate marketing. Use it to build an audience in a specific niche. They learn what that audience actually responds to, what they buy. They perfect their marketing funnel with lower risk. Then, once they've validated the demand, built some confidence, maybe built an email list, then they launch their own related higher margin e-commerce product to that audience that's already warmed up.
Ah, so affiliate marketing becomes the testing ground and audience builder for your own future products. That's smart.
It's a very common, very effective path.
It all sounds like, well, it sounds like real work, commitment. The sources constantly stress these are real businesses, right? Not some kind of get-rich-quick button.
Absolutely. They hammer that home. These require effort, strategy, learning. But the amazing thing, the real beauty of it, is that you can start small, from home, with just a laptop and an internet connection. You could build these assets piece by piece, and they start working for you.
And every step you take, even small ones, publishing that first piece of affiliate content that actually converts, or launching that first basic digital store, you're learning incredibly valuable skills that apply across almost any online venture.
Exactly. You're essentially becoming fluent in the language of online business, of scale. That's powerful.
The tools are out there, the resources exist, these models are clearly working for people.
Yeah, and we just connect this to the bigger picture for a second. The number of opportunities online in 2025, it's staggering compared to even 10 years ago. Just unbelievable access. So the real limiting factor, it's usually not the market, it's not the business models or the software tools available. The limiting factor, more often than not, is your own consistency, your creativity, and crucially, your willingness to just learn and iterate, to keep trying things. That's what really unlocks the door to the kind of independence, the financial freedom that you might be looking for. Welcome to the Deep Dive. So if you're building an income stream online, maybe content, maybe affiliate marketing or e-commerce,
Yeah.
you know the dream of passive income,
Oh, yeah.
but you also know the reality. That daily grind, it's relentless, isn't it?
It really is.
Just managing everything, posting, updating, tracking sales, answering every single email. It's that operational load that just, crushes your momentum.
It absolutely does. That
Yep.
constant demand on your time. That's why so many great ideas just kind of fizzle out. But that's what we're diving into today. The secret weapon, really, that makes running things solo sustainable in 2025, and that's automation.
Okay.
But it's not just basic scheduling anymore. Now, it's fundamentally powered by AI. Pretty sophisticated stuff.
Right.
So the goal shifts. It's not about you doing everything. It's about building systems, reliable ones, that do the work constantly, even when you're offline.
And what's really important for you listening to Grasp is this tech isn't just for big companies anymore. It's not locked away.
Not at all.
Any solo entrepreneur, just you with a laptop and an idea, you can use these AI tools right now. Save time, cut costs, and honestly, grow your income faster.
And that's exactly our mission for this deep dive. We're going to break down precisely how you can leverage AI and automation. We'll look at those 5 key areas from our source material.
Okay.
We want to show you how to get past that grind and build passive income systems that are actually sustainable.
All right, let's unpack this. Where should we start? Content seems like the foundation.
Definitely. Content is the engine, right? For any online income, videos, blog posts, podcasts, social updates.
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful, but man, is it time-consuming and energy-consuming.
Okay, so let's maybe go beyond just, using ChatGPT to draft a script. That feels like basic knowledge now. What's the real strategic edge in 2025?
Hyper-efficient repurposing. That's the game changer.
Okay.
Remember spending hours taking one, say, 30-minute podcast and manually chopping it up into 20 different little pieces.
Ugh, yes, the worst.
Exactly. Now, AI does that pretty much autonomously. You feed it the recording and boom, it gives you a long blog post.
Okay.
A summary for LinkedIn, maybe 5 unique TikTok scripts, optimized with captions, an email newsletter, all from that one single input.
That's the kind of leverage we need. One creative effort, but you get immediate distribution across different platforms.
Precisely. And then there's the visual side.
Right, visuals. Always a bottleneck.
Absolutely. Think about the friction there. AI video editors like Descript or maybe Pictory, they do more than just auto caption now. They're getting really good at spotting the high energy moments or the key info bits. They actually suggest the best cuts for short clips.
Oh, interesting.
And they instantly clean up filler words, the ums and ahs.
That alone is huge. And what about graphics? Like thumbnails, social posts? Hiring a designer gets expensive.
Drastically reduced costs there, whether you're using Canva's AI features or maybe Photoshop's generative fill. You can create really eye-catching, polished visuals in minutes. Product images, marketing stuff. You don't need to be an expert designer anymore. You just need good prompts.
So the big takeaway here is
AI handles the bulk of the production work, the volume, which frees up your most valuable asset, your thinking time.
right. Focus on strategy.
Exactly. Strategy, originality, growth, not just tedious execution.
Okay, this is critical. You've got the content engine humming,
Yeah.
but now you have to market it
Yeah.
consistently.
Yep. Best product in the world doesn't sell if nobody sees it.
And consistency is where AI can really build those passive systems for you.
Definitely. So social media, everyone knows about scheduling tools like Buffer or Hootsuite. That's like baseline.
Right, scheduling.
But the AI layer now,
Yeah.
it goes deeper. It gives you active analysis.
You know
It doesn't just post when you tell it. It looks at your real-time engagement data. It figures out the optimal posting time, like down to the minute.
No.
And it can predict which format, maybe a carousel post, a reel, a static image, will work best for that specific message you're sending out.
That's strategic.
Mm.
And that connects perfectly with email marketing, right?
Absolutely. Platforms like ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, they use AI to get way beyond generic mass emails. We're talking true behavioral personalization.
Okay, explain that.
Right. So instead of just blasting the same message to everyone on your list,
Yeah, the old way.
the AI segments your list automatically based on, say, what they've bought before, what pages they looked at on your site recently, or how they clicked on past emails.
Ah, okay. So it's much more tailored.
Exactly. So imagine a customer loves your hiking gear, they browse a new tent on your site. The automated email sequence they get, it's instantly tailored, recommends maybe a matching sleeping bag or camp stove based on their history. It feels like you're talking directly to them.
And that feels passive.
Yeah.
You build the system once the welcome emails, the abandoned cart reminders, the upsell paths,
You set it up.
and it just runs
Mm-hmm.
on autopilot, generating personalized revenue while you're maybe out finding your next subscriber.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's shift gears. Customer service. This is often a big fear, especially for beginners. That moment your stuff starts working.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're drowning in questions, problems, refund requests, the fear of being chained to your inbox 24/7.
That anxiety is totally real. Managing all that support can easily eat up your entire day. Seriously.
But the solution now is pretty robust, right? AI-driven triage.
Yes. Chatbots, support tools like Intercom or Zendesk, they aren't those clunky, frustrating bots anymore.
Thank goodness.
They use your knowledge base, your FAQs, your course videos, whatever, to answer like 80 to 90% of common questions instantly, around the clock.
Give me an example, like for an online course creator.
Okay, easy. The chatbot handles the repetitive stuff. How do I log in? I forgot my password. Where's the bonus PDF you mentioned?
Right, all those little things that add up.
And that gives you two huge wins. First, the customer gets an instant answer, so they're happier, less frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you get massive chunks of your time back.
And the system's smart enough to know when it's out of its depth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If someone has a complex refund issue or needs really specific tech help the bot can't handle,
Yeah?
it escalates, transfers the chat to you or your team member, but crucially, it includes all the context. The history of the chat is already there.
Ah, so you're not starting from scratch.
Nope. You get the efficiency of automation, but you still provide that human touch when it actually matters, when it adds real value.
Okay, let's talk e-commerce. This feels like an area where automation, especially AI, has just completely changed things.
Oh, utterly transformed it. Think about the old manual grind. Updating inventory levels, processing each order by hand, sending out shipping notifications one by one.
Yeah, tedious.
Largely gone, outsourced to the system itself.
So the big platforms, Shopify, WooCommerce, Etsy, they have a lot of this built in already.
They do. Orders get processed the second payment clears. Inventory updates automatically. Tracking emails go out automatically. The platform handles the basic mechanics of your store.
Takes that off your plate.
And we can't forget fulfillment. If you're using drop shipping or maybe print on demand,
Right.
your suppliers are connected through APIs. So your involvement basically stops once the sale is made.
So they handle packing, shipping, notifications.
All handled by a third party, which means you can focus purely on the high leverage stuff, driving traffic, making sales.
But where's the cutting edge now? The AI advantage in e-commerce.
It's moving into business intelligence. Think dynamic pricing models.
Okay.
AI tools can actively predict seasonal demand changes. They can suggest trending products you should stock before they actually peak.
Whoa.
And they can even adjust your prices in real time based on what competitors are doing or your current stock levels.
So it's moving beyond just managing the system.
It's becoming proactive, intelligent business management run by AI.
Okay, final piece of the puzzle. Data,
Yeah.
analytics, making smart decisions. You called it working smart.
Yes. Because you can automate everything under the sun, but if you don't know what's actually working...
You're just automating failure faster.
Exactly. And looking at raw data tables, it's overwhelming. Most people just don't do it effectively.
Right, so AI analytics tools are the key here.
Vital. Tools like, say, Google Analytics 4, Hotjar, maybe SEMrush. They're shifting from just showing numbers to delivering actionable insights.
What's the difference?
They explain the why. They map out the customer journey. They pinpoint what trigger makes someone click buy, and also what friction points make them abandon their cart.
That clarity sounds like gold.
It's strategic gold.
Oh.
For example, the AI might flag something like, hey, 80% of your traffic last week came from that one Instagram reel.
Right.
But T, your overall sales conversion rate from all that traffic is only 2%.
So the signal is clear.
Crystal clear. Double down on creating more content like that successful reel, but at the same time, use the data to figure out why only 2% are buying. Fix that bottleneck on your product page.
So the AI helps you see connections, patterns,
Yeah.
things you'd probably miss if you were just swimming in spreadsheets.
Completely miss. And that really ties it all together, doesn't it?
How so?
AI identifies what's working. You then build a specific automation system around that success. That system runs, scales the business, maybe while you sleep.
Creating a feedback loop.
Exactly, a self-reinforcing cycle of growth powered by data and automation.
Okay, so let's recap this deep dive. The core message seems to be
AI and automation are just non-negotiable for building something sustainable online in 2025, period.
right.
They help you create content way faster, market it smarter and more personally, offer instant customer support, run e-commerce ops intelligently, and make much better data-backed decisions.
And the practical advice for someone listening, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed by all these tools.
Don't try to do everything at once. That's a recipe for paralysis.
Start small.
Start small. Pick one area that's a major pain point for you right now. Maybe it's AI for repurposing your content, or maybe just automating a simple welcome email sequence.
Nail that first.
Nail it. Get that system stable, see the value it adds, then layer on the next tool, the next automation. The goal isn't zero work tomorrow. It's moving towards a business where you spend maybe less than an hour a day on the operational hamster wheel.
So we need to redefine passive income.
We really do. It's not about doing absolutely nothing. It's about strategically building systems that do the heavy, repetitive lifting for you.
Right.
Using these AI tools, it's honestly like hiring an amazing team, a strategic analyst, a 247 support agent, a production editor, but without the huge salary costs.
So automation is the multiplier. It takes your initial effort.
And it scales it, doubles it, triples it, and keeps that system working, making sales, helping customers 24/7.
Okay. Final thought for people to chew on.
Yeah, here's something to consider as you move forward with this. We talked about AI handling pricing, stocking, even content polishing. If AI can autonomously manage more and more of these operational and strategic tasks, how does your role, the traditional business owner role, fundamentally change?
Good question.
You're less the operator, right? Your job becomes almost entirely about strategic oversight, spotting new opportunities, and maybe most importantly, getting really good at training and refining these intelligent AI systems.
You become the conductor, not the entire orchestra.
Exactly. That's the real future, I think, for the solo entrepreneur building these kinds of businesses. Something to think about. Welcome to the deep dive. If you're joining us, chances are you're on a pretty specific mission, right? Building systems that generate passive income. We're talking digital assets, maybe clever content monetization, smart affiliate marketing, or perhaps leveraging some of those powerful new AI tools.
Yeah, exactly. That ability to earn while you sleep. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it?
It is the ultimate goal, absolutely.
But there's this huge gap between the dream and what actually happens for most people. We look through your sources, and there's this central paradox.
Okay.
Most people who start this journey, they fail. And not because the methods themselves, blogging, YouTube, whatever, don't work. They fail because they make these like completely avoidable mistakes right at the beginning.
Exactly. The internet is just flooded with these promises, right? Instant wealth, quick wins. And we know that's often, misleading.
Very misleading.
So our mission today is really to cut through all that noise. We want to give you the real blueprint, sort of the learner's shortcut to lasting success.
Right. By focusing on those common pitfalls first. So you can just sidestep them entirely and then show you how to build systems that actually last.
Yeah, because the biggest battle here, it seems, isn't really against the algorithm or the market. It's more internal, isn't it?
Totally internal. The learner, often quits too soon.
Oh.
Or gets completely sidetracked by the next shiny object.
Shiny object syndrome. We'll get to that.
We will. Or they just skip the frankly, unglamorous but critical steps like tracking things or just sticking to one plan.
So if we can really define those mistakes, understand the psychology, you can build something that actually endures.
That's the idea. Build systems, not just wishes.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're starting with the 5 biggest roadblocks. And the first one, maybe the most universal, is mistake number 1, expecting quick results.
Yeah. This expectation is practically manufactured by all the marketing you see, right?
Right.
Passive income gets sold with these really intense claims.
It's like $10,000 a month in 30 days.
Exactly. And that gives people this fundamentally wrong idea that passive must mean instant.
Right. But the sources give us a much better way to think about it. It's not like an ATM machine.
Not at all.
It's much more like planting a tree. You have to put in weeks, maybe month of pretty tedious, focused effort first. Watering it, caring for the roots.
Building the foundation.
Yeah. And only years later, sometimes, does that asset actually yield fruit that can sustain you. It's an investment of time, a long-term one.
And that's precisely what makes this mistake so dangerous. Because when a beginner puts in hard work for, say, a month or two, and they see maybe $5 in return,
they think, this is broken, it doesn't work.
Yeah, they conclude this whole thing is fake, and they quit. They forget the tree analogy completely. It's exactly like going to the gym for 2 weeks, not seeing a six-pack, and declaring exercise itself is a scam.
Yeah. Good analogy. The initial effort just rarely lines up with the initial reward.
Almost never.
So that reframing is crucial. The main takeaway here is simple, but maybe hard to really internalize. Stop chasing the instant hit. Focus just on building that solid foundation. Trust that the results are delayed, not, denied.
Nicely put. And that impatience, that need for instant results,
Yeah.
it leads us right into mistake number 2.
Which is?
The notorious shiny object syndrome. SOS.
Oh, boy. I think I feel personally attacked by this one. We've all done it, haven't we?
Probably, yeah.
You start strong on, say, a digital course idea. You're committed for about 4 weeks.
4 weeks sounds about right.
But then you're scrolling social media and someone else is absolutely crushing it with a totally different model. Maybe it's dropshipping this week or selling AI art prints next week.
Right. And suddenly that looks like the easier path, the faster path.
So you pivot, you just abandon the first project, the course you were building, and you start the new shiny thing from scratch.
And this cycle just keeps going on and on. You end up with like 10 different half-built projects.
A ghosted YouTube channel over here, an abandoned Etsy store there, a blog with 3 posts.
Exactly. And those 10 projects, collectively, they generate 0 income. Nada. It's like planting 10 seeds, but never watering a single one long enough for it to even sprout.
Never mind grow into something real. So how do you resist that pull towards the next big thing, especially when the current thing is still in that, boring low reward phase?
The sources are actually brutally simple on this. The cure. Choose one method, one business model, and commit.
For how long?
Minimum 6 to 12 months before you even allow yourself to ask, is this working?
Wow. Okay. 6 to 12 months minimum.
That unwavering focus on one path. That's the fundamental difference between the hobbyists who dabble and the people who actually build scalable systems.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's talk about a mistake that feels like trying to find a shortcut around the actual work. Mistake number 3, skipping essential skills.
Oh, this one's huge.
Yeah.
And it really undermines the whole thing. People see the end result, right? A successful blog, a profitable store.
And they want that, the passive income part.
Exactly. Without putting in the time to learn the fundamental business skills that actually power it. Things like basic copywriting or effective marketing, or even just the tech setup sometimes.
And if you don't have those core skills, your success basically just relies on luck, right? Or maybe catching a lucky break with an algorithm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And luck, as we know, is not a system. You can't build passive income on maybe getting lucky.
So let's break that down. Why are these skills non-negotiable? Why does, say, an affiliate blogger have to learn SEO?
Okay, good example. Because the difference between a headline that ranks on Google, gets seen, gets clicked, and one that just disappears into the void, that's skill. Pure skill in understanding search intent and keywords.
Or a YouTuber needing storytelling.
Same idea. You've got to hook a viewer in, the first 30 seconds? Maybe less now. Otherwise, they click away and the video just dies. That's a skill.
So focused learning is the real shortcut here. Not skipping skills, but learning the right ones for your model.
Precisely. You don't need a 4-year marketing degree, but you do need focused, persistent practice on the specific skills your chosen path demands. That's the actual shortcut.
Got it. Okay, moving to our 4th big mistake. This one often signals treating the project like a fun side thing instead of a real business.
Which is
Not tracking or measuring anything.
flying blind. Yes, we see this constantly, especially with content creators. They might be making some money.
But they have no idea why.
Exactly. They don't track where their traffic is actually coming from,
Oh.
or which specific product out of maybe 10 they offer is the real top seller.
Or even basic profit margins, right? After you factor in the cost of tools or ads or whatever.
Yeah, basic stuff. And if you can't measure it, well, you can't improve it. You can't optimize,
You end up pouring hours into content that might be generating practically zero return.
while totally ignoring the 20% of your effort that's actually driving 80% of the income. It's madness.
So what's the fix? Do you need fancy software?
Not necessarily, no. The sources really emphasize starting simple. A basic spreadsheet can work wonders. Google Analytics is free. Most platforms have their own built-in dashboards.
Just use something.
Use something. The rule is non-negotiable here. What gets measured gets improved. You absolutely must know your numbers, period.
Okay. And finally, the fifth mistake. You called this one the saddest.
It really is, I think, because it often happens when success is literally just around the corner. Mistake 5 is giving up too soon.
The 3 feet from gold scenario.
Exactly that phrase from the sources. You've done, say, 90% of the hard work. You've survived the initial slow grind, you started building the skills, and then, right before that compound effect really starts to kick in, you quit.
Ouch. Can you give an example?
Think about the pain of quitting a YouTube channel when you're at, like, 900 subscribers.
Yeah.
Just before hitting that magic 1,000 mark that unlocks monetization.
Or stopping a niche blog that's finally pulling in, say, 4,000 monthly visitors.
Just shy of that 10,000 visitor mark, where suddenly ad revenue becomes substantial and good affiliate programs open up and commissions start to flow and compound really fast. It's heartbreaking.
So that patience, it's not just a virtue here, it's like a required feature of the model.
It's completely integrated. The effort has to be consistent, typically for 12 to 18 months, according to the sources. And crucially, the big payoff is always weighted towards the end. It really is like compound interest. That first year is mostly just laying track.
Okay, so we've mapped out the traps, the pitfalls. If we manage to avoid those 5 mistakes, what's the positive blueprint? What are the core principles for building these long-term systems? The kind that run without needing us there every single day.
Right, this is the constructive part. First, let's define system properly in this context. A system is something you design to operate with significantly less effort over time.
So heavy lifting up front.
Massive effort up front, yeah. Building the thing. But later, the system keeps generating value, keeps generating revenue, even when you're, sick or on vacation or working on something else.
Okay, principle number 1 for building that kind of machine.
It follows directly. Automation.
Makes sense.
You need to be almost ruthless about automating every possible repetitive task. If you sell digital products, automate the delivery the second someone pays.
No manual emailing of files.
God, no. And if you rely on affiliate marketing, you absolutely must set up automated email sequences.
Okay, wait, can you quickly unpack that automated email sequence for listeners maybe not deep in marketing speak? What does that do passively?
Good question. Okay, so an automated sequence, often called a drip campaign or autoresponder, is basically a pre-written series of emails, maybe 5, maybe 7 emails.
Okay.
And they get sent out automatically to every new person who signs up for your email list, spaced out over, say, a few days or weeks. You write them once.
And then they just work.
They just work. They introduce the new lead to you, build some trust, provide value, and then, crucially, they can pitch your recommended affiliate product or your own course passively, without you doing anything each time a new person signs up. That's literally selling while you sleep.
Okay, that sounds like a huge time saver. And I guess modern AI tools can help here too.
They can definitely assist, yeah. Helping draft outlines for those emails, maybe designing graphics, even handling some basic customer support questions. Yeah. But AI assists the vision, right? Automation supports the system. It doesn't replace the strategy.
Got it. Principle number 2?
This one leverages the magic we talked about earlier, compounding.
Right. This explains why the slow start is okay, even necessary. Your online assets, your blog posts, your videos, your email list, they grow when you continuously add value, like money gaining interest.
Exactly. Look at the potential math over time. One really good blog post might bring in, say, 100 visitors a month consistently from search. 10 such posts might bring ye 1,000 visitors. But 100 high-quality posts, they don't just bring 10,000 visitors. They might bring 15,000 or 20,000.
Wide the jump.
because now your site has authority in Google's eyes. Those posts start linking to each other, reinforcing relevance. People stay longer. The whole system builds exponentially on itself. You have to trust that compound effect. The first year feels like crawling.
But the sources show that year 2, year 3, that's when you often see this explosion in return.
Precisely, because of that accumulated asset base finally reaching critical mass.
Okay, principle number 3. This feels like the financial discipline part, moving from hobby money to real scale.
It is. It's reinvestment. Meaning this is where people often fail to make the leap. If you treat your passive income like a hobby, what do you do with the first profits?
Spend it. Dinner out, new gadget.
Probably. But if you treat it like a business, you reinvest that money back into the system. That first $500 you make, it shouldn't go on takeout. It needs to be used strategically.
Okay, give us some concrete examples. Where does that first $500 or maybe $1,000 make the biggest impact on building the system?
It creates leverage. You use it to buy better tools, maybe, the premium SEO research tool subscription, perhaps, or better quality stock photos or video assets so your content looks more professional.
Makes sense.
Or, and this is critical for scaling, you use it for outsourcing, hiring a virtual assistant, a VA, even for just 5 hours a week.
To do what?
To handle the basic stuff that eats your time. Email sorting, social media posting, comment moderation. That frees you up to work on the high leverage tasks, like creating the next scalable product or building key relationships. Reinvestment multiplies the system's returns. It's often the key difference between making a few $100 a month and actually scaling towards 6 figures.
Okay, that's powerful. And finally, principle number 4, you called this the ultimate litmus test.
Yeah, for whether you've truly built a passive system. And that principle is scalability.
How do you define that?
You have to constantly ask yourself, can this specific income stream, this system, grow significantly without needing a proportional increase in my constant daily hours?
Okay. So if your income only grows when you put in more hours right now?
Then it's not really passive income. It's just self-employment, maybe with some leverage. It's trading time for money still. Scalable passive income needs to decouple that.
So scalable systems would be things like fully automated digital courses.
Yes. Or evergreen YouTube tutorials that keep getting views and generating ad revenue for years. Or maybe an e-commerce store where fulfillment is handled automatically by a third party.
Okay. And the ultimate test?
It's brutally simple, really. Can you step away for a week, take a real vacation, maybe get sick, unplug completely? And does the revenue stream continue, or maybe even increase while you're gone?
If the answer is yes,
then congratulations, you've successfully built a system that runs on its own power.
Let's make this concrete. Can we look at a couple of quick examples from the sources? Seeing the actual time commitment is probably key here.
Absolutely. Take the first example, the personal finance blog. This person started back in 2019. Focused entirely on SEO content. And for the entire first year, they were making something like $50 a month.
Oh, that's discouraging. $50 a month for a year's work.
Totally discouraging. But he stuck with it, kept writing high-quality stuff. And crucially, he worked on earning what we call high-quality backlinks, which for the listeners just means getting other reputable websites in his niche to link to his content, signaling trust to Google.
So he trusted the process, the compounding.
He did. And by year 3, the traffic had exploded. Because of that compounding effect, because of the automated email sequences he eventually set up to capture leads, and because he reinvested some early profits to outsource basic content updates.
What happened?
That blog was generating $6,000 per month, passively, from affiliate links and display ads. And today, the system apparently runs on just 5 to 10 focused hours of his work per month, mostly planning and oversight.
Okay, that's the difference between self-employment and a system. 5 to 10 hours for $6,000 a month.
Exactly. Or look at the second example, the coding YouTube channel.
Okay.
This creator published over 100 videos, detailed coding tutorials. And the channel earned practically nothing for a long time, way below YouTube's monetization thresholds.
Again, a long period of low return.
A very long period. But he treated each video as building an asset, an evergreen asset.
And eventually,
By the time he hit his 200th video, the system was fully alive. That huge back catalog of tutorials acted like this giant automated lead generation machine. It started earning thousands every month, from ads, from sponsorships that came knocking, and from passive sales of his own digital courses he linked to.
and he probably didn't need to film daily anymore at that point.
Nope. The initial pain of constant creation faded because the asset library was built and working for him.
So the big message here seems crystal clear. Don't let those common mistakes, especially impatience, stop you. You have to structure your thinking in terms of years, not days or months.
Absolutely. Passive income, it really is like building a custom house. The foundation work, the learning, the consistency, the tracking, it's slow, it's unglamorous, often boring, frankly.
Right.
And it yields no immediate visual payoff.
Right. You don't see the skyscraper after digging the hole.
Exactly. But once that foundation is solid, truly solid, the house you build on top can stand for decades.
Yeah.
It provides value, provides shelter, provides returns long after the hard initial construction is finished.
Okay, so we've established that patience, consistency like 12 to 18 months worth, and those foundational skills are absolutely non-negotiable, and that the big payoff is always weighted towards the end. If you accept that premise, and then this raises a really important, maybe provocative question for you, the listener, to take away.
Yeah, think about this. If the payoff is always at the end, what single unglamorous foundational task, just one, are you willing to commit to doing consistently?
Like what task specifically?
Could be anything core. Maybe it's learning basic copywriting for an hour every Saturday. Maybe it's finally setting up that tracking spreadsheet and updating it every single week. Maybe it's producing just one piece of high-quality content consistently every week for your chosen platform.
Regardless of immediate results.
Regardless of seeing any results for potentially months, what single foundational task are you willing to commit to week in, week out for the next 12 months?
Because making that commitment and actually sticking to it when the rewards are still zero or close to it.
That commitment, more than anything else, is the key. It's the activator for the compound effect in your own passive income journey.
That's a powerful thought to end on.
And next up, we're actually going to take this mindset, combine it with some specific methods and systems we've touched on, and lay out more of a complete roadmap, where and how you can actually start building that long-term system, starting today.
Welcome back to the Deep Dives. Okay, so for the last few sessions, we've really been in the weeds, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Digital assets, content, e-commerce, AI, lots of pieces.
Exactly. Lots of pieces. And, pulling all that together into like a clear plan, that can feel, well, pretty overwhelming.
It really can. Information overload is a real thing.
So today, we're tackling that head on, this deep dive. It's about putting it all together. We're taking everything we've learned and slotting it into one clear, actionable framework. Our source calls it the 8-step passive income roadmap. This is where all that theory, it becomes a practical, maybe even a 3-year implementation plan.
And that's the goal today. You've got all the puzzle pieces, right, scattered on the table.
Yeah.
So we're here to assemble them, give you that full picture, show you exactly where to start, what to focus on, what to automate maybe, and crucially, how to stay consistent, to actually reach that financial freedom.
Right. From zero to actually earning passively.
That's the path we're laying out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive in. Phase 1, laying the foundation. This seems to be all about strategy, mindset, the prep work.
It is.
And step 1, according to the roadmap, has to be mindset and vision. Now, I know some people might hear that and think, oh, here we go, the fluffy stuff.
Right, skip to the doing parts.
Exactly. But the sources, they were really clear on this. The main reason these passive income attempts fail isn't usually technical, it's mental. You absolutely have to believe, like deep down, that earning income outside a normal job is possible for you. And for that, you need a really solid why.
And that why isn't just, I want more money.
It needs to be specific.
Crystal clear.
Is it ditching the 9 to 5? Is it about being there more for family, traveling, paying off debt? Whatever it is, that specific vision, that's your fuel. That's what gets you through the tough spots, the inevitable setbacks.
Okay. And tied to that vision is the timeline, which you mentioned. Yes, and this is critical. The sources use this analogy. Passive income is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to set your expectations right from the start. Think in years, not weeks or months.
Exactly. Years. Maybe 2-3 years for building something solid. If you frame it like that mentally, you're already way ahead. Most people bail after, 3 months? Because they expected instant results.
That quick hit mentality.
Yeah. So that upfront mental prep, it helps you avoid that psychological trap.
Right.
Okay. Preparation, vision. That leads into step 2. Choose your core model. And this sounds like the antidote to getting overwhelmed. It really is. The sources basically said that initial focus, is your biggest lever. Don't try to launch a blog and a YouTube channel and an Etsy store all at once.
Resist the shiny object syndrome.
Totally. Pick one main path, one that fits your strengths, your personality, and just commit to that one until it's working. until it's stable.
Oh, wait a sec. Doesn't that feel a bit risky? You know, putting all your eggs in one basket. Some advice says diversify early.
That's a fair question. Yeah. And it came up. But the argument here is about leverage and speed. The sources suggested that the learning curve, the optimization you achieve by going deep on one thing, that momentum outweighs the supposed safety of spreading yourself thin early on.
So it's about getting good at one thing faster.
Right. Like if you love teaching, lean into that. YouTube channel, online course. If you're more analytical, maybe e-commerce is your starting point. Pick the path where you have some natural advantage, some inherent leverage, not just whatever seems hot this week.
Yeah.
Okay, leverage over diversification, at least initially. Makes sense. So, core model chosen. Now we're into phase 2, creation and skill acquisition. Step 3 is build your first digital asset. Action time, yes. This is about overcoming inertia. Just start. Build the thing, your blog platform, your channel art, your first few product listings, the outline for your ebook, whatever it is. Get something tangible down. Don't get stuck planning forever.
And this is where that perfection warning comes in, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Perfectionism is like the killer of progress here. Your first attempt, it's not going to be amazing. It probably won't go viral.
Probably definitely won't.
Right. And that's completely okay. It's necessary even. The goal right now isn't a masterpiece. It's building the habit of creating. Just showing up and doing it. Got it. Build a habit. Then, as you're building, step 4 kicks in. Learn core skills. Yeah, the multiplier effect. This is what turns okay work into something that actually generates results, generates income. You can't just build it and hope they come. You need to understand how to get eyes on it, how to convert interest.
So skills like SEO, copywriting, the usual suspects. But what was the specific insight there?
Well, yes, SEO and copywriting are crucial. But the interesting angle was how to approach them initially. For SEO, instead of trying to rank for super broad competitive terms, which is tough for newcomers, the data showed focusing on really specific long-tail keywords.
Like super niche phrases.
Exactly, those low competition phrases. They drove significantly more early traffic for news sites, like maybe 5 times more. That's a game changer early on.
Wow, okay.
And with copywriting, it wasn't just about clarity. It was about mastering the hook, the headline, the first sentence. The top performers, they relentlessly test their titles, their openings.
A/B testing.
Constantly. Because improving your headline click-through rate by just a tiny bit, say 2%, that can literally double your audience over time. Investing time in mastering these micro skills, it pays off massively.
And these skills are learnable now, right? Tutorials, cheap courses, AI tools even.
Absolutely accessible. But you still have to put in the work to learn them. Right. Okay, skills acquired, asset being built. Now, phase 3. Monetization and systematization, turning the hobby into a machine. Step 5, monetize early, improve later. Yes, don't wait for perfection. As soon as it's viable, start trying to generate some income. Add affiliate links, turn on ads, even if it's just pennies at first. Offer a small, simple digital product.
And this loops back to motivation, doesn't it? That first dollar earned online.
It feels like magic. But it's more than just a feeling. The sources actually show data on this. Getting that initial proof of concept, seeing that something worked, even on a tiny scale, it statistically reduces the chance you'll burn out during that middle phase where growth feels slow and painful.
So it confirms the system works, basically.
Exactly. Scaling comes later. But that early proof, it's vital psychological fuel. Okay, motivated by those first $2. Then step 6, automate and systematize. This is crucial for the passive part. Crucial. If you skip this, you haven't built a passive income stream. You've just built yourself another job, probably one with less stability. The goal is to reduce your time input for every dollar earned.
So what are the practical automation steps? What did the sources highlight? Well, the basics first, batching your work. Don't create content daily, do it in blocks. Use scheduling software religiously. Never manually post every day if you can help it.
Right. But the bigger lever now, it's AI. Using AI tools for things like content brainstorming, drafting outlines, summarizing articles, writing social media snippets, generating email sequence variations. That's not optional anymore if you want to scale beyond yourself.
So embracing tools like Jasper or ChatGPT for the heavy lifting.
Absolutely. Integrate them into your workflow. And then there's the reinvestment principle.
Ah, yes. Taking the earnings and putting them back.
Exactly. Those first few dollars or $100, they go back into the system. Upgrade your software. Run small, targeted ad campaigns. Outsource tasks that suck up your time but don't require your core genius like basic video editing or transcription. That's how you turn active effort into a more passive system. Makes sense. Profitable hobby versus actual growing business. Okay, Systems running may be generating a bit. Brings us to step 7. Track, adjust, and scale. The data part. This is where you become a scientist. Passive income isn't luck. It's constant testing, learning, improving. You have to track what's happening, what's working, what's not, and move beyond just looking at views or follower counts.
Okay, so what should we be tracking? What are the key performance indicators, the KPIs?
You need to look at conversion rates. How many people who visit your site actually sign up for your email list? How many email subscribers click on a link? How many clicks lead to a sale?
The funnel metrics.
Precisely. And retention metrics, too. How long do people stay subscribed? What's your refund rate on a product? These numbers show you where your system is strong and where it's leaking value. If you find one blog post drives 80% of your affiliate conversion,
You double down on that topic.
yeah, you absolutely do. That insight is gold. You write more on that topic, create a video about it, maybe make a small product related to it. Scaling is really just identifying the winners and multiplying them. More content on winning topics, more products like the ones that sell, expanding successful ad campaigns. Don't fix what isn't broken, just make more of it.
Yeah.
Smart. Okay, that leads us to the final phase, phase 4, security and long-term freedom. And the last step, step 8, build multiple streams, the ultimate safety net. But, and this is a huge but from the sources, let me guess, don't do it too early. Exactly. Only add that second income stream after your first one is stable, mostly automated, and bringing in predictable income without you needing to be hands-on every single day. Why so strict? Isn't diversification good? It is, but only if the streams are genuinely passive or semi-passive.
Yeah.
If your first stream still needs constant babysitting, adding a second just doubles your workload. You end up with 2 demanding jobs, not passive income.
Ah, I see. The streams need to support themselves first.
Right. The sources gave this powerful example. A creator whose YouTube income tanked overnight because of an algorithm shift. Huge drop, like 70%. What saved their business? Their automated ebook sales, running completely separately. That's the security multiple passive streams provide. Okay, so maybe start with affiliate marketing, get that stable, then add an online course, get that running smoothly, then maybe launch some ebooks. A portfolio.
Exactly. A portfolio where the streams complement each other and protect you from shocks in any one area.
And you mentioned a timeline earlier. Let's just quickly recap that realistic breakdown for someone listening.
Yes, definitely.
Because years can sound daunting. So months 1 to 3, that's your foundation phase. Choose the model, define your why, build that initial asset. Just get started. Okay, months 4 to 6.
Still building and first monetization, learning SEO, copywriting, whatever's key for your model. And crucially, earning that first dollar. Getting proof of concept.
Right. Then months 7 to 12, that's the optimization grind. Tracking, tweaking, automating. Reducing your time input on that first core asset, making it more efficient.
So by year 2,
By year 2, ideally, that first stream is stable, maybe showing some compounding growth. Now you can realistically think about adding a second complementary stream without overwhelming yourself.
and then year 3.
Year 3 is where you aim for true freedom. Multiple streams are running, hopefully mostly automated, optimized, generating income without constant firefighting. That's the goal.
And when you put it like that, 3 years of focus building versus, 30 or 40 years in a traditional job you might not live.
It really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? It's trading intense, focused effort over a shorter period for long-term leverage and freedom. Okay, so the 8 steps, again, real quick. Mindset, pick model, build asset, learn skills, monetize early, automate, track, and scale, and then build multiple streams. Simple steps, but requires discipline. It's simple, but not easy. The absolute key, the thread through all 8 steps, it's just consistency. Showing up, doing the work, planting those seeds day after day, even when you don't see results immediately. It's not about luck. It's about persistence.
The hard work is often in the waiting and just keeping going. So if you start today, follow this roadmap. Your future self will thank you.
Definitely. And maybe one last thought to leave you with. We call it passive income, right? Which kind of suggests you do nothing.
Yes, sit on a beach somewhere. Right. But the real insight, successful creators didn't stop working. They just shifted what they worked on. They moved from doing all the low leverage, repetitive stuff themselves to focusing only on the high leverage, strategic decisions. Automating, delegating, optimizing. The goal isn't no work. It's working only on the things that truly scale the system. So maybe think about this. What's one task you do regularly that could be automated or outsourced this week, freeing you up for more strategic thinking? Start there.
So, friends, we've walked through the entire journey together. From mindset to systems, from your first digital asset to building multiple streams. You now hold the roadmap to financial freedom. But remember, Knowledge without action is just information. It's action that turns ideas into income.
Exactly. You don't have to do everything at once. Just take the first step today. Maybe it's writing your first blog post, recording your first short video, or setting up your first affiliate account. Start small, but start now. Because every great passive income journey begins with a single action.
And don't forget, we're here to guide you. Revisit these steps, practice them, and share your progress. The sooner you start, the sooner your future self will thank you.
So here's our call to you. Don't just listen, act. Begin your passive income journey today. Keep learning, keep building, and let 2025 be the year you take control of your financial freedom. Your time is now.
All right, let's go make it happen.